What's up, guys? Today we're going to be fixing an incredibly common problem permanently. A good safety precaution before getting into the actual install is having, or in my case making, something to catch the coolant during inevitable spillage. Starting by disconnecting the evaporator line that connects to the top of the reservoir to the top of the water outlet and tucking it in the back. Next is the turbo coolant line. Similar to the evaporator hose, just undo the hose clamp, pull it off, and bend it out of the way. Finally, disconnect the mass airflow sensor and take off the intake hose after loosening the clamp that connects it to the throttle body.
So the problem was the people that put on this last time, this little hose clamp right there, that little hose clamp is angled too far, like this way, like it's turned up too far, so it was hitting on the bottom side of the pipe. That's why I couldn't get it off. So when I put this back together, I'm gonna try and orient it back down a little bit more. That way we don't have to do that. And hopefully this never has to be done again, so it's not really that big of a deal. It's just frustrating.
The last step on the front of the water outlet is the lower radiator hose, which, like most of the others, is just held on by a hose clamp. Move the clamp off and slowly take off the lower hose by twisting it back and forth. You can pry the end of the hose up with a screwdriver or a pick, but be super careful and try not to rip it or poke a hole in it. Moving to the actual water outlet itself, all that needs to be removed at this point is the temperature sensor on the side. Most replacement outlets I've seen online come with new sensors, only requiring you to unplug the old sensor, but in case you need to remove it to transfer it to the new one, it's held in place by the same kind of clip that holds in the evaporator hose. Like most of the bolts in the engine, the water outlet is held in place by 3 inverted Torx bolts, these specifically being a 10mm. Most people don't already have a set of inverted Torx sockets, so I made sure to link the set that I personally use in the description, as well as the aluminum water outlet that I'm installing. Once the water outlet is unbolted and removed, it makes it easier to get to the rear heater core line.
All right, and there she is. As soon as it would get under pressure, it would just like puke from this bottom side. And I even like tried adjusting the hose clamp and restarting the car, and it would still do the same thing. So I don't know, but it's definitely broken or malfunctioning in some way. So let me show you the replacement. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. So this is the nice, pretty new all aluminum version of this cheap, shitty plastic one. And these don't break. If you break this, you have bigger problems than just your water outlet malfunctioning. So here you go. And look at that, it even comes with all the new hardware and everything. There's the new temperature sensor with a little clip. Here's the new clip for this top overflow that goes from the tank to the actual water outlet. Look at that, it's all like machined and super nice on the inside of it. Beautiful.
Now comes everyone's favorite part of any install, reversing the process by first putting on the rear heater core line, reinstalling the 3 10mm inverted Torx bolts, torque down to 30 foot-pounds if you have a torque wrench, or 1 Good and Taut if you don't. plugging in the temp sensor, reinstalling the lower radiator hose, reattaching the air intake hose to the throttle body, put back on the turbo coolant line, and plugging in the mass airflow sensor. And finally, but not filmed for some reason, put the evaporator line back on top of the water outlet. Don't forget the little clip that secures it in place as well. When it comes time to refill the coolant, top off the reservoir first, let it set for a few minutes with the cap off to escape the first round of air in the system. Next, refill again to the full line and start the car. While the car is warming up, this is also a good time to look for initial leaks. Once the car gets up to operating temperature, the cooling system will now begin building pressure. Turn the heater on full blast and keep an eye on coolant level as well as any other leaks that may appear. If everything is still good, take it on a short drive and watch for all the things as previously mentioned. Once that's all done, you can officially call the job a success.